2020 will be remembered by a lot of people as the worst year of their entire life. But my worst year was actually 2019 because I'm just ahead of the curve. It was a crazy hard year. We had a house fire that I really haven't talked about on social media because it happened 6 hours after Brandon left for SEER school, meaning we had zero communication for 3 weeks. That was fun. We got pregnant, which was amazing, but then we had a miscarriage, which was terrible. And then we ended up totaling our car, the car that has been paid off for years. And just a whole bunch of random crazy little things happened in 2019. And it happened at a really stressful time in our lives. Brandon was in flight school, we were 12 hours away from our family, but at the same time 2018 was also one of the best years in my life. And I say that because we met amazing people. We had friends that became like family. We had an incredible church family back in Alabama. We had amazing support from the command that Brandon was with. It was just, honestly, it was an incredible year. So what I found through that crazy year of trauma and tragedy and frustration and stress was that you can have the worst year of your life and simultaneously have the best year of your life. You just have to search for it. You just have to look for those pockets of greatness and those pockets of good that happened amongst all the tragedy. So I want to talk about my 2020 year in review. And I'm not going to talk about like the huge monumental things that happened this year, because those are all things that someday our grandchildren are going to read about in a history book and ask us about our experience because we lived through it. What I want to talk about is my personal 2020, because yeah, there's huge monumental things that shape a generation that happen, but I truly believe that life is made up of the small moments, and that's what I want to share about. So this is my 2020 year in review, and this I don't want this to be like an hour-long video, so we're gonna break it up into the first 3 months, the second 3 months, and then the last 6 months of the year will be the last video. So here is the beginning of my 2020. So after the worst year of my life, I decided to hit my quarter-life crisis. Therefore, I dyed my hair purple. Now, when I say I dyed my hair purple, I use Overtone. It's a pigment depositing conditioner because I'm terrified of ruining my hair. I've never actually dyed my hair for real. It was a very temporary thing. But ever since I got out of the army, I wanted to dye my hair purple.
Oh, it's so purple!
Are you ready to see it in the full light?
I don't know. We'll see, yeah.
Okay.
I have purple hair! It's so dark!
It's so pretty.
What? I look like a Disney villain.
January is also when I got my first negative pregnancy test of the year, and I really debated putting this in the video, but I know that people celebrate pregnancy announcements, but we don't talk about all of the negative pregnancy tests that so many people have. I don't know, I just wanted to add in here. I got my first negative pregnancy test of the year, and we were devastated. I want to remember that because someday if we are blessed with having kids, if we do have children, I want to be able to look back and think about it and remember all the times that I tried and it didn't work. So, not gonna cry. We took our students to TNT, which is a Nazarene District Youth Group activity thing. It's like a big talent competition. They do sports, they do art, it's a whole thing. We played tennis. We found out where we were moving and we announced it to the world. We actually got our first pick of duty station. I know it's crazy that we wanted to go to Kansas. And I went on our church's ladies retreat to Panama City Beach, where I just chilled by the Gulf, got closer to the other ladies in the church, did a service project, and ate so much seafood. And then February happened. In February, this is not a big deal to most people, but my YouTube channel hit its first 50 subscribers, which at the time was like mind-blowing to me that 50 people would actually tune into this channel. We went down to Thomasville, Georgia, where I was the maid of honor in my Beachbody bestie's wedding. They rented out this beautiful home where we all got ready. We had like the bachelorette party the night before. Our coach and mentor and friend Lindsay and her husband Hal came down, and it was just so much fun to see them, and it was such an incredibly beautiful wedding. Everybody cried. It was gorgeous. The food was great. They had a donut wall. And it was honestly probably the most beautiful wedding I have ever been to. Random thing, but I bought a ton of meat at the commissary because they had these like bundle packs, which kind of turned out to save us because then the pandemic happened and the world ran out of meat. I started uploading my Disney vlogs, which was so much fun to create, and I just love sharing them. If you want to watch those, I will link them down in the description. And then March happened. And we'll just call March memorable. Since we were supposed to be moving in a couple months, I finally cleaned out the bathtub from using Overtone.
I had a friend, her name is Kristen, that said the only thing that could get hair dye out of her bathtub was like super hot water, soaking it for a couple hours with like really hot water and bleach. So that's what we are trying now because the Kaboom scrubbing Did not work. Let's hope that I don't accidentally blow up my house. Good luck.
I went down to Florida to see my cousin, and my mom, her husband, and my aunt all came down. This was pre-COVID. Had so much fun with family, made all the memories, and continued to eat more seafood.
The captain just said that the people at the front of the boat were in the splash zone, and we learned that lesson when we were in Atlanta. So
Not doing it again.
nope. Good luck, parents.
The younger generation teaching the older how to Instagram model.
Brandon had his last flight of flight school, which was a huge deal. We celebrated by getting a dozen maple bacon donuts. That was a good day, let me tell you. And then quarantine started. Brandon finished his last flight, I think, on Friday. That Monday, the base shut down and we went into quarantine. So timing kind of worked out for us. We spent a lot of time outside. We set up the hammock. We started letting our cat go outside. We would talk to our neighbors like across the fence. We also had a pub burning party because that's what you do when it's the end of flight school. And that was my first quarter of 2020. I think we all look back on 2020 and remember it as just the worst year of our lives. But it didn't really get crazy until March, at least not in America. In my next video, you'll see things get weird. You'll see things that are exciting and you'll see things that are really sad. But I guess you'll have to watch the next video to find out. So goodbye 2020. Thanks for the memories.
The milk is decently stocked. The cheese aisle is still looking better than it was last time.
You look like a hoodlum.
You look like a
I called the
hoodlum.
cops.
Been some recent developments in the quarantine situation. They're taking temperatures at the commissary now. We have put up a hammock in the backyard. We decided to use our fire pit. Brandon just went foraging in the woods. Quarantine is fun. Brandon, what are you doing?
I'm trying to go to sleep.
Tornado season.
Cinder, we try to give you freedom, and this is what you do with it. Quarantine, not sure what day it is anymore. I have moved my office into a hammock. The wind is super gnarly out right now. The most exciting thing is happening right now. We are leaving the house.